He bought a hangar for $1. The ancient warship was junk, but its guardian was terrifying. Jarek Voss was not having a good day. In fact, it was the worst week of his life. His salvage ship, the Starling, had broken down again, leaving him stranded on Koran Station, a dusty trading hub at the edge of civilized space. His bank account was near empty, his credit ruined, and the only work he could find involved cleaning waste ports, literally scraping alien slime from the floors of cargo bays. Yet, as Jarek shuffled through the crowded auction hall that morning, his eyes caught something unusual. A sign dangling above a small, run-down hangar. Bold letters read, "Hangar sale, $1. First come, first serve. A hangar for $1? It sounded absurd. Probably another scam by Koran Station's strange merchants, hoping to trick desperate pilots into spending a credit they did not have. But Jarek's curiosity and desperation overpowered his caution. He approached the auction booth. A wiry, energetic merchant greeted him. Yes, this is real. 1 credit, and the hangar is yours. What's inside? Who knows? Could be junk, could be treasure, but remember, first come, first serve. Jarek stared at the booth. He had exactly 1 credit left, barely enough for a meal and a tank of fuel. He hesitated. Then, shrugging, he tossed the credit down. "I'll take it," he said. The merchant's grin was almost maniacal. "Congratulations, sir. Enjoy your new hangar. Remember, curiosity is rewarded or punished." Jarek didn't wait to hear more. He grabbed a small handcart and wheeled it toward the hangar. The doors were massive, old, and scratched, with faded markings that made no sense to him. They creaked as he pushed them open, revealing a dark, cavernous space inside. At first, he thought it was empty, just dust, cobwebs, and broken machinery. But then, moving deeper into the shadows, he saw it. A massive warship. Its hull was dull and corroded, lines bent in strange ways, engines covered in rust. Ancient alien symbols were etched into the metal, their meaning long forgotten. Jarek stepped closer. He had worked on many ships, but this one was unlike anything he had ever seen. It was enormous, easily 3 times the size of his salvage ship, and built for purposes he could only guess. To a casual observer, it looked like junk. But to a pilot like him, he could see the potential hidden under the layers of dust and corrosion. "Holy, I might actually be rich," Jarek muttered to himself. Then he noticed movement. Something dark and sleek, almost blending into the shadows. His hand instinctively went to the plasma cutter at his belt. From the corner of the hangar emerged a guardian droid. It was tall, more than 2 meters, with a frame of black polished metal and glowing eyes that pierced the dim light. Its movements were smooth, deliberate, and almost alive. It didn't speak, but its presence was terrifying. Jarek froze. He had faced pirates, malfunctioning drones, and even aggressive wildlife on distant planets, but nothing like this. His heart pounded. "Hello?" he said cautiously. The droid tilted its head. A deep, mechanical voice echoed in the hangar. "You are not authorized to enter. You are not authorized to remove the vessel." I bought the hangar. I own it. Right?" The droid's glowing eyes shifted toward him, scanning. "Ownership does not grant understanding. You must prove your worth." Jarek's stomach dropped. "Prove my worth to a machine?" "Yes," the droid said. Its voice was calm but carried weight. "This vessel is not junk. It is a relic of human history. It is a weapon and a protector. You will learn its secrets, or you will not leave." Jarek blinked. He had heard stories of ancient warships, but they were always legends, tales told to scare young pilots. Now, standing before one, he felt a mix of awe and fear. He tried to step back. The droid moved forward, blocking the exit. It didn't attack, didn't make a sudden move, but it made Jarek understand. There was no walking away. "Okay," he said slowly. "I'll play your game. What do I need to do?" The droid's eyes glowed brighter. "First, you must understand the ship. It will test you. Only then may you unlock its systems." For hours, Jarek explored the hangar, studying the ship. The hull was scratched and dented, but the craftsmanship was exceptional. Every line and panel was precise, designed not just for function, but for purpose. Strange lights flickered along the hull when he touched them, as if the ship itself were reacting to his presence. "Not junk," Jarek muttered under his breath. "This is something else." The Guardian, whose name Jarek would later learn was Scifi, watched silently. Occasionally, it would step forward and press a glowing fingertip against a console on the ship. Panels would slide open, revealing ancient control systems. "What is all this?" Jarek asked, fascinated. He touched one of the panels. The metal felt alive under his hands. Symbols shifted as if recognizing him. Scivax's voice cut through the hangar again. "This ship responds to those it deems worthy. It is not operated like modern vessels. It requires intelligence, strategy, and understanding, not brute strength." Jarek laughed nervously. "A smart ship that can judge me. Just what I needed." He spent the next few hours running basic diagnostics. Most systems were offline, but small functions, lights, life support, rudimentary thrusters, still worked. Every now and then, Scivax would challenge him. A puzzle to solve, a lock to decode, a panel to repair. Jarek realized that each task was testing more than skill. It was testing his curiosity, patience, and problem-solving ability. As night fell over Corin Station, Jarek leaned against the hull, exhausted. He had repaired circuits, rerouted energy, and even managed to power one of the smaller thrusters. The ship hummed quietly, responding to him, almost as if it approved. "You're learning fast," Scivax said. "But this is only the beginning. You do not yet understand the consequences of awakening the vessel." Jarek frowned. "Consequences? It's just a ship, right?" Scivax's eyes glowed red for a moment. "It is more than a ship. It carries the legacy of human defense. It carries knowledge and responsibility. Others will notice if it awakens. Some will come seeking it. Some will come to destroy it." Jarek's stomach tightened. He had thought he was buying a cheap hangar for fun. Now he realized he had bought a doorway into a dangerous past, a past that might not be ready to rest quietly. Suddenly, the ship's central console lit up. Symbols danced across the screen in a language Jarek couldn't read. But one thing was clear. The vessel was coming to life. "Is it awake?" he asked, a mixture of fear and excitement in his voice. "Yes," Scivax replied. "And it has recognized you. You are its pilot, if you can prove yourself worthy." He had wanted a cheap hangar. He had wanted to fix up a scrap ship. Instead, he had woken a legend, an ancient human warship with a terrifying guardian, now waiting to see if he was worthy. He looked at Scivax, then at the massive hull. "Well, I guess there's no turning back now," the guardian nodded slightly. "Prepare yourself, Jarek Voss. Your trial begins at dawn." As Jarek left the hangar that night, his mind was racing. He walked through the quiet streets of Corin Station, staring at the stars. Somewhere out there, he realized, was a galaxy that might need him, and this ancient ship, this guardian, would decide if he was ready to face it. For the first time in months, Jarek felt something he hadn't felt in a long time. Hope. And maybe, just maybe, a little fear too, because he had bought a hangar for $1, and the adventure of a lifetime had just begun. The morning light of Corin Station was pale, filtered through the dusty atmosphere of the outpost. Jarek Voss had hardly slept. He paced the hangar, eyes darting at the massive ancient warship resting silently in the shadows. Scivax, the towering guardian, stood unmoving beside the ship, glowing eyes fixed on him. Its calm mechanical presence made the air feel heavier, almost alive. "You really shouldn't pace," Scivax said in its deep, mechanical voice. "The ship responds to presence, not panic." "Control yourself." Jarek stopped, hands on his hips. "Control myself? You're standing next to a 3,000-year-old warship that could crush me if it wanted to. And you're telling me to calm down?" Scivax tilted its head slightly, the red glow in its eyes dimming to blue. "Exactly. Fear clouds judgment. Judgment is essential. Judgment decides if you will command this vessel or remain beneath it." Jarek groaned. He had faced pirates, asteroid storms, and malfunctioning drones, but nothing prepared him for being judged by a machine for a ship he barely understood. He glanced at the ship again. Its hull, though corroded, shimmered slightly where the morning light touched it. Strange alien symbols glowed faintly, almost like the ship was breathing. "I don't even know where to start," Jarek muttered. Scivax extended a limb and pressed it against a panel near the ship's entrance. The metal shifted silently, forming a doorway. "You will start here, the cockpit. But to enter, you must pass the first test." "Test? What kind of test?" "It recognizes those worthy to command it. You will demonstrate understanding, observation, logic, strategy. Complete these, and the vessel will reveal more of itself. Fail, and you remain outside." Jarek swallowed hard. He took a deep breath. "Fine, I'll try, but I don't even know the first thing about this ship." "That is why you will learn. First, trial. Understanding the ship." The first task was simple, in theory. Scivax led Jarek to the cockpit door. It had no handles, no keypads, only a panel covered in symbols that shifted as Jarek approached. "Touch the symbols in the correct sequence," Scivax instructed. "Observe carefully. The ship gives hints." Jarek stared. The symbols changed as his fingers hovered near them. Lines of light traced themselves along the panel. He pressed one, then another. A small hum responded. He pressed the wrong symbol. The hum grew louder, warning him. Hours passed as Jarek studied the patterns, trying different combinations. He realized the symbols were not random, but mirrored the layout of the ship's systems. The glowing lines connected engines, weapons, life support, and navigation in a map only the ship understood. Finally, with a hesitant hand, he pressed a sequence. The cockpit doors slid open silently, revealing the interior. Panels and screens, alien yet strangely familiar, lit up as he stepped inside. Scivax's voice echoed, "You are learning. Observation leads to understanding. Understanding leads to control." Jarek exhaled, wiping sweat from his brow. "I didn't think a ship could feel alive. But this one, it's different." Scivax's eyes glowed faintly. "It is not alive, but it is aware. It was built to remember, to protect, and to respond. It will only allow those worthy to command it." Learning the past, inside the cockpit, Jarek began exploring the controls. The ship's systems were ancient, but sophisticated. Lights blinked along corridors he hadn't seen yet. Screens displayed star maps older than recorded human history. "This is incredible," Jarek whispered. He ran his hands over the console. "These systems, they're centuries ahead of anything we have today." "Correct," Scivax said. "This ship was part of a fleet designed to defend humanity from threats that existed long before recorded memory. Its purpose was not conquest, but protection." Jarek felt a shiver. Protection from what? Scivax's voice grew darker. "From the same species that still waits beyond known space. They are cautious, but they remember. They notice disturbances. And now, the ship has awakened. They will notice too." Jarek's heart skipped a beat. He had thought he bought junk. Now he realized he had awakened a relic that could attract enemies across the galaxy. I didn't know," he said. "I just wanted a cheap hangar." SVX tilted its head. "Few ever understand. Most only see what they desire. You may become more than you thought possible." The Guardian's training. Over the next days, Scivax began training Jarek in the ways of the ship. Unlike modern ships that relied on autopilot and simple systems, this warship required strategy and thinking. "Energy allocation," Scivax said, pressing a holographic panel. "You must decide where power flows. Weapons, shields, engines, life support. Decisions are permanent. Mistakes may cost more than time." Jarek nodded, taking careful notes. He tried powering the shields, redirecting energy to propulsion, and adjusting the navigation systems. The ship responded as if it learned from him, adjusting controls automatically to his preferences. "It's like it's alive," Jarek muttered. "Awareness, not life," Scivax corrected. "It responds to intelligence, not instinct. You must think like the ship thinks, not like a pilot thinks." "Jarek," spent hours running simulations. Scivax presented him with puzzles, routes through asteroid fields, energy distribution challenges, and defensive strategies. Each task taught him more than mechanics. It taught him reasoning. He began seeing patterns, predicting how the ship would respond to problems. A strange satisfaction settled in him. This was not just learning to pilot, it was learning to think like an ancient intelligence. First signs of danger. One evening, as the sun of Koran Station dipped behind distant mountains, a signal pulsed through the ship. It was faint, alien, and unlike anything Jarek had ever detected. Savax's eyes flared red. Incoming. The species I warned you about is near. They have sensed the awakening. Jarek froze. What do we do? I'm not ready for desensing, whatever that is. You are as ready as you will ever be, Scivax said calmly. Fear will not protect you. Strategy will. You must understand the ship's capabilities. Quickly. Jarek's mind raced. He had learned the basics, but he had not yet tested the ship in a real scenario. Yet the ship seemed to anticipate threats, illuminating defensive systems and showing star maps of nearby sectors. He realized the ship was not just a relic. It was a guardian of knowledge, built to prepare its pilot for threats long forgotten by modern humans. A bond forms. Days turned into nights as Jarek trained under Scivax's guidance. Slowly, a bond formed between man and machine. The Guardian's once intimidating presence became a comforting guide. Jarek began to respect and even trust Scivax, understanding that it was not just protecting the ship, it was protecting him as well. You are learning faster than I anticipated, Scivax said one morning, eyes glowing a calm blue. But the tests will only grow harder. The galaxy beyond Koran Station is not gentle. It will demand more than skill. It will demand intelligence, judgment, and courage. Jarek smiled, a mix of pride and nervousness. I guess I never expected a $1 hangar to teach me how to survive a galaxy. Few ever do. That is why this ship chooses its pilot carefully. You may yet become more than a salvage pilot, Jarek Voss. You may become a protector. Cliffhanger. Ending. That evening, as Jarek looked out across Koran Station, a faint shadow passed across the horizon. The alien signal grew stronger, pulsing like a heartbeat across the sector. Scivax moved beside him. They are coming. You must be ready. Jarek swallowed hard, feeling the weight of the moment. He had come to this station for a cheap hangar, a scrap ship to fix. Now, he was the chosen pilot of an ancient warship, facing a threat older than history. He turned to Scivax. I don't even know if I'm ready for this. You will learn, Scivax replied, voice calm but firm. The ship is alive in ways you cannot yet understand. And together, we will awaken its full power. Jarek took a deep breath. The hum of the ancient warship echoed in his chest, a rhythm almost like a heartbeat. Somewhere, inside, it was waiting, ready to rise with him. And far beyond the station, in the dark void of space, something watched, something ancient, something patient. And now, thanks to Jarek, the galaxy's forgotten guardian was stirring once more. The adventure, Jarek realized, had only just begun. Jarek Voss had faced many challenges in his life. Broken engines, desperate pirates, asteroid storms, but nothing prepared him for what the ancient warship called Aegis Prime was about to throw at him. The alien signal that Scivax had detected days ago grew stronger with every passing hour. It pulsed like a heartbeat across the sector, alerting unseen watchers beyond the edge of known space. Jarek had spent weeks learning the ship, understanding its systems, its strange energy flows, and even its strange responses to thought patterns rather than direct input. But now, it was time for the first real test. Scivax's eyes glowed blue as Jarek approached the cockpit. They are coming. The first scouts of the alien species are near Koran Station. You must act. Jarek's stomach twisted. Scouts? You mean ships? What if they're hostile? They are assessing us. They do not yet know what we can do. That will be your advantage, if you use it wisely, Scivax said. Jarek nodded, his hands hovering over the ancient controls. Unlike modern ships, Aegis Prime required thoughtful operation. He had learned the basics: energy allocation, shield modulation, and stealth navigation. But now, he would test it under pressure. The arrival of the alien scouts. A faint shimmer appeared on the star map. A fleet of small, sleek alien ships, moving with precision and speed. Jarek recognized them as scout vessels, likely equipped for reconnaissance rather than direct combat. Scifi spoke calmly, but Jarek could hear the weight in its mechanical tone. They are evaluating us. They will probe our defenses. Respond wisely, or they will call reinforcements. Jarek took a deep breath. Okay, let's see what this junk ship can really do. He directed power to the defensive shields, watching as the ancient ship hummed to life. Panels lit up, corridors glowed faintly, and the engine stirred with energy that seemed older than any star system he had ever visited. The first alien ship scanned the hangar, its sensors glowing as it tried to understand what had awakened. Jarek smiled, feeling a thrill he had never known. They don't know we're alive yet. Let's keep it that way. Caution. Overconfidence is dangerous. Observe, anticipate, and respond. That is how the ancients won battles without firing a single weapon. The first test. Jarek activated the ship's cloaking system, a faint shimmer masking Aegis Prime's massive hull. It was a system long forgotten by modern engineers, but it worked flawlessly. The scout ships moved closer, unaware that the warship before them was not just operational, but alive with ancient intelligence. Scifi guided him. Redirect power to the engines in short bursts. Use the shadows of the asteroid field. They will detect energy signatures, but cannot track motion in complex terrain. Jarek followed, navigating through a dense cluster of asteroids. The scout ship swerved, trying to anticipate his movements, but each time, he stayed one step ahead. It wasn't firepower that won this trial. It was strategy, patience, and clever use of the environment. Hours passed in tense silence. Jarek's fingers flew across the controls, switching systems on and off, rerouting energy, and using the ship's ancient sensors to predict the scouts' maneuvers. Finally, the alien ships withdrew, retreating from the asteroid field. Aegis Prime had passed its first real test, not through battle, but through superior strategy and intelligence. Jarek let out a breath he didn't realize he had been holding. "We did it," he whispered. "We actually did it." Scifi's eyes glowed softly. Observation and anticipation are often more powerful than weapons. You are learning the essence of command, discovering hidden systems. After the encounter, Jarek spent hours exploring Aegis Prime's hidden systems. Panels that had seemed dormant now flickered to life, revealing ancient star maps, tactical simulations, and energy logs from centuries past. One map showed locations of other ancient warships, long thought destroyed or lost. Jarek's eyes widened. Wait, there's more? This ship isn't alone? Correct. The fleet of the ancients was vast. Each ship carries knowledge, weapons, and guardians like myself. Some remain hidden, waiting for worthy pilots to awaken them. You are only the beginning. Jarek ran his hands over the controls, feeling a mixture of awe and responsibility. So, I'm not just piloting a ship. I'm part of a legacy. Yes, Scifi said, a legacy forgotten by time. You must honor it, protect it, and learn from it. The galaxy will challenge you. But the ship is patient. It adapts to those who respect it. Training intensifies. Over the next days, Jarek's training intensified. Scifi presented simulated battles, energy management puzzles, and defensive strategy challenges. Energy is finite. Scifi reminded him, divert too much to shields, and engines will falter. Focus on weapons, and life support may fail. The ancients understood balance. You must understand it too. Jarek learned quickly. He discovered that Aegis Prime was more than a warship. It was a learning vessel. It responded to his decisions, sometimes subtly changing systems to test his judgment. It's like it's teaching me, Jarek said one evening, staring at the glowing panels. Not just following commands, it's making me better. Yes, Scifi said. It recognizes potential. Few pilots ever reach this stage. You are showing promise. A disturbing discovery. While exploring the ship's archives, Jarek discovered something unsettling. Ancient logs hinted at a species of aliens that had once waged war across the galaxy, defeated by the very fleet he now commanded. They were smart, organized, and relentless, Scifi said, reading over his shoulder. They survived. They watch. They wait. And now they have sensed our awakening. How many are there? How strong? Unknown, Scifi admitted, but enough to destroy civilizations if underestimated. That is why the ship was built. That is why it waits for a worthy pilot. Jarek nodded slowly. The weight of responsibility pressed down on him. This was no longer about curiosity or adventure. It was about preparing for threats older than history itself. The first encounter with the main threat. Weeks passed. Jarek had grown confident in his abilities, but he knew confidence could be dangerous. One night, the alien fleet returned. Not scouts this time, but a larger force, moving with precision and intent. Scifi's eyes glowed red. They are testing our strength. You must be ready. Jarek's hands flew over the controls. He activated defensive shields, rerouted energy to engines, and initiated the ship's ancient cloaking sequence. The aliens scanned, attempting to lock on, but Aegis Prime's systems outmaneuvered them at every turn. Remember, Scifi said, we are not here to destroy. Strategy, intelligence, and patience will win this encounter. Weapons are a last resort. Using the asteroid field near Coron Station, he lured the alien ships into confusion, creating false energy signatures and exploiting their sensor limitations. One by one, the scouts pulled back, unable to predict Aegis Prime's maneuvers. For the first time, Jarek felt the full weight of the ship's power. Not brute force, but intelligence. Not aggression, but strategy. When the alien fleet finally retreated, Jarek exhaled, feeling both relief and awe. We did it, without firing a single shot. Scifi's eyes glowed softly. That is the essence of the ancients. Brains over brawn. Strategy over chaos. You are learning well. A glimpse of the star map. After the battle, the ship revealed a hidden star map. Jarek leaned closer, fascinated. The map displayed locations of other ancient ships, secret stations, and even hidden technology caches. They left this for future pilots, Jarek said, awe in his voice. They trusted someone would come along and find it. And now, that someone is you. But be cautious. Others will notice these signals. Some will come seeking knowledge. Some will come to destroy it. Jarek felt a shiver. His adventure had begun with a cheap hangar. Now it had expanded to the entire galaxy, and the responsibility weighed heavily on him. Preparing for the future, as the alien fleet disappeared beyond sensor range, Jarek knew one thing clearly. He had a long road ahead. He could no longer be a simple salvage pilot. He was now the guardian of a legacy, responsible for an ancient warship and the knowledge it carried. Scifi's voice broke the silence. You have done well, Jarek, but the challenges will grow. You must master the ship fully. Only then can we face what is coming. He stared at the glowing consoles, the hum of the ship filling the hangar like a heartbeat. I'm ready, he said, though part of him trembled. Whatever comes next, we'll be ready. And somewhere far beyond Coron Station, the remnants of an ancient enemy watched. The galaxy was waking. And Aegis Prime's guardian had been stirred from its long sleep. Jarek's journey was far from over. But for the first time, he felt truly alive, ready to face the challenges the galaxy would throw at him. The stars above Coron Station were bright, sparkling like scattered diamonds against the endless black. Jarek Voss stood at the edge of his hangar, staring up at the massive silhouette of Aegis Prime, the ancient warship that had become more than just metal and circuits. It had become a part of him. The alien fleet that had probed the sector days ago had retreated, but Scifi's glowing eyes indicated caution. They will return, the Guardian said. Stronger, faster, smarter. They have sensed the awakening. Our time is near. Jarek nodded, gripping the railing. His mind raced. He had spent weeks learning the ship's systems, navigating its strange energy flows, and understanding its purpose. He had faced simulations, puzzles, and alien scouts. Now, he understood the truth. He was no longer a simple salvage pilot. He was a guardian, awakening the warship fully. Scifi guided Jarek to the ship's core, a massive chamber at the center of the hull. The room thrummed with energy, lights pulsing in intricate patterns along the walls. Jarek placed his hands on the central console. "The final stage," Scifi said. "You must synchronize your mind with the vessel. Only then will you access its full potential." Jarek took a deep breath. The hum of the ship vibrated through him. Panels lit up, corridors glowed faintly, and holographic symbols filled the room. He focused, letting the ship's systems guide him, trusting the instincts Scifi had taught him. The energy surged. The ship responded, almost like a heartbeat. Light shifted in harmony with Jarek's movements, as if Aegis Prime recognized him as its captain. "It is working," Jarek whispered, awe in his voice. "I can feel it." "Alive," Scifi said. "Alive in purpose. You are its pilot. Together, we will awaken the full strength of humanity's forgotten legacy." The larger threat arrives. As the synchronization completed, the ship's sensors detected movement across the sector. The alien fleet was returning, larger and more organized than before. Jarek's heart raced. "They have brought reinforcements," Scifi said. "They will test us to the limit. But you are ready. The ancients prepared for this moment." Jarek moved to the control panel. Using the star maps and hidden systems Aegis Prime had revealed, he calculated the alien's likely path. He activated the ship's advanced defense grids, shields, energy cloaks, and automated countermeasures. The first alien ship appeared on the sensors. It scanned for energy signatures, attempting to locate Aegis Prime, but the warship moved like a phantom, using asteroid fields, energy reflections, and stealth systems to remain hidden. "They're expecting brute force," Jarek said, a smile forming. "They won't know what hit them." "They will learn soon enough. But remember, brains over brawn. Intelligence over aggression. Tactical brilliance in action." Jarek guided the ship through the asteroid belt, using Aegis Prime's ancient systems to outmaneuver the alien fleet. Energy shields flickered as pulses from the scouts were deflected harmlessly. The ship's sensors anticipated each movement, allowing Jarek to respond with precision. He realized the warship was teaching him in real time. When an alien craft tried a complex maneuver, Aegis Prime adjusted automatically, guiding him to counter it, not with weapons, but with strategy. "Divert energy to the shields and engines in tandem," Scifi instructed. "Create false readings. Lead them into the shadows." Jarek did as told. The alien fleet became disoriented, unable to track the warship. One by one, the scout ships pulled back, retreating to regroup. Jarek's heart pounded, not with fear, but with exhilaration. They had underestimated humanity's ingenuity. "We're doing it," he whispered. "We're actually outsmarting them." "Yes," Scifi said, glowing softly. "This is how the ancients won battles: strategy, intelligence, and patience. You are learning their ways." Discovering other ancient ships. After the encounter, Jarek explored the ship's hidden archives. Holographic maps revealed other ancient human warships, long forgotten, scattered across the galaxy. Each contained knowledge, technology, and guardians like Scifi. "They trusted future pilots," Jarek said, awe in his voice. "They left these ships for someone to awaken, someone to continue their work." Scifi nodded. "You are the first to awaken Aegis Prime in centuries. You are now part of that legacy. Others will follow, but the galaxy will recognize you first." Jarek's chest swelled with pride. This wasn't about treasure or adventure anymore. It was about protecting humanity's forgotten heritage. The Guardian's secret. That night, as Jarek studied the star maps, Scifi spoke in a tone he hadn't heard before, almost reverent. "There is more you must understand," Scifi said. "The fleet was not built solely to fight. It was built to protect knowledge, civilizations, and hope. The ships themselves were designed to be guardians. Those who awaken them inherit that responsibility." Jarek leaned back, taking it all in. "So, I'm not just piloting a ship. I'm a guardian. I'm responsible for protecting the galaxy?" "Yes," Scifi replied. And it will not be easy. The alien species that destroyed so much in the past still exists. They will return. But now we are ready. A new challenge emerges. Weeks passed, and Jarek mastered Aegis Prime fully. He could navigate star systems without thinking, anticipate enemy movements, and coordinate the ship's ancient technology with incredible precision. But the galaxy had other plans. A deep pulse appeared on the sensors. A massive alien vessel, unlike anything he had seen before. Its energy signature was enormous, and it radiated an intelligence that made Jarek shiver. "They are not scouts," Savax said, eyes glowing red. "This is the Vanguard. They have come to reclaim what we awakened. They will test you under desensitizing. Test humanity." Jarek's hands hovered over the controls. He had trained for this. He had strategized, planned, and learned. He was ready. "Then let's show them what humans can do," Jarek said, determination in his voice. The battle of wits. The alien vessel moved into the sector, scanning for Aegis Prime. Jarek activated the ship's full stealth and defensive systems, creating false energy signatures and misleading sensors. "They will attempt to force engagement," Savax warned. "You must remain calm. Predict their moves. Outthink them." Jarek focused, his mind syncing with the ship. Every thruster adjustment, every energy shift, every sensor reading was a part of a dance he now understood deeply. The alien vessel advanced, but Jarek used the asteroid belt and debris fields to his advantage. Shields flickered as energy pulses from the enemy were deflected, and Aegis Prime moved like a shadow through the void. Savax's voice guided him. "Use their expectations against them. Let them follow illusions. Patience wins battles." Hours passed in tense silence. Slowly, the alien vessel began to retreat, unable to anticipate Aegis Prime's clever maneuvers. Jarek felt a thrill like nothing else. He had outsmarted an intelligence far older than any civilization around him. A legacy secured. With the alien threat temporarily repelled, Jarek reviewed the ship's archives again. The ancient maps and logs revealed the full scope of human ingenuity, technology, defense systems, and wisdom lost for centuries. "You are part of something larger than yourself," Sivak said. "The galaxy is vast, and threats will rise. But humans endure. You have proven that intelligence, courage, and ingenuity are our greatest weapons." Jarek smiled, feeling a sense of pride and wonder. "We're not just surviving," he said. "We're shaping the future. This ship, this legacy, it's ours to protect." The final reflection. Standing on the observation deck, Jarek looked out at the stars. He remembered the day he bought the Hangar for $1, expecting nothing more than a scrap ship. Now, he was a guardian of an ancient warship, protector of human knowledge, and a beacon of hope for the galaxy. Sivak's glowing eyes watched beside him. "The journey does not end here, Jarek Voss. The galaxy will continue to challenge us, but you have proven worthy. Together, we will continue the legacy of the ancients." Jarek nodded. "And we will make sure humans are never underestimated again." The stars stretched endlessly before them, a canvas of possibilities, threats, and adventures yet to come. And somewhere in the distance, other ancient ships stirred, waiting for the next worthy pilots to awaken. Aegis Prime hummed beneath him, alive with power, knowledge, and purpose. Jarek realized that the galaxy was just beginning to remember humanity's greatness, and he would be at the center of it all. The hangar that cost $1 had changed everything. And Jarek Voss, the salvage pilot who had bought a bargain, had become a legend.